Welcome to the Epic Company Culture Podcast, where your host, Josh Sweeney, will give you, the business leaders, HR professionals, and company culture aficionados, the knowledge you need to take your company culture to the next level.
Hello, my name is Josh Sweeney, and welcome to the Epic Company Culture Podcast. Before we get started, I would like to thank Prototype Prime for this amazing podcasting room. The topic of today is onboarding like a concierge. So this is all about the onboarding process. How do you make people feel comfortable and get them onboarded in a way that's going to get them as productive as possible quickly and, again, make them feel welcome in the organization? Where I'd like to start is before the first day. So a lot of people think onboarding is, okay, you got this acceptance letter. Now you're going to maybe leave a job. It's going to be 2 weeks. It's going to be 3 weeks, whatever it might be. You're going to come in that first day and you're going to start a bunch of paperwork. What we believe is that onboarding and giving a concierge type onboarding service to those new employees is that onboarding starts from the day of the acceptance letter. Now you're out of the hiring process, you're into the onboarding process. From the day they sign the acceptance letter, that onboarding process needs to start. So what are some things that you can do between the first day and the time that that onboarding letter or that hiring letter or hire offer letter is signed? The first one is have the manager reach out. So if they sign the acceptance letter, usually it's radio silence, right? It's radio silence for a few weeks until that person starts and maybe HR tells them what their first day is, and then they come in and get going from there. Instead, have that manager reach out, maybe a team member, maybe somebody else that they'll be working with, working under or next to, whatever it might be. Have them reach out and welcome them. Hey, I saw that you signed the offer letter. It's amazing to have you on the team. Say some kind words. Let them know what the next steps are going to be, and maybe even send them some email follow-ups with the next steps. Now, on the topic of email follow-ups and next steps, the next steps can be what they might be able to do now to ensure a smooth transition into their first day. It can tee them up and let them know what they're going to experience on the first day. So what does that itinerary look like? And then also you can convey information about what their first week's going to look like. So what you're doing is you're not only building rapport and you're speaking with that person before their first day, you're also getting them inserted in the process and letting them know what's to come, lowering those first day jitters, getting them on board, making them feel amazingly comfortable, like they already know some of the team members or some of the team before they walk in on that first day. So it's all about prepping for the new hire. Now, the next thing that you can do is inversely prep the team for the new hire. You just made an amazing new hire. You went through all of this work to find the best person that matches your culture, that's going to be a great producer. And now this random person just shows up in the office and nobody knows who it is. Word will get around very quickly, but instead you can be a little more proactive. You can let the team know that you've hired a new person, that what their first day is, where they're going to focus, and you can also highlight some interests for that person. Now I'm going to take one step back. Before you send that intro email and letting the new team know about this person, you may also want to send out some sort of survey or other questionnaire to the new hire before that first day and understand more about them. What are their interests? What kind of food do they like? What are their hobbies? Get together a profile of that person that then you can send out to the team, letting them know not only is this new hire coming on board, here's what they're going to be doing, but here's some of their interests. Here's some of their hobbies. That creates a place where people can build a relationship even more quickly. Hey, I saw your new hire profile. Saw that you liked golf. Where have you golfed? What's your handicap? They have the golf talk or whatever it might be, right? So you can really leverage the time in between the offer letter being signed and that first day to get the team engaged and ensure that when that person does start the first day, they're going to feel amazingly welcome. So quick recap on that is sending out the survey, understanding more about that person, their hobbies, their interests, their favorite food, whatever type of questions you want to send, and then flipping that over to the team so that they're very welcoming on that first day. So it's that get to know you questionnaire. Now, another thing that we've seen is some sort of welcome basket. I've mentioned in some of my podcasts, on your first day, you get a $100 gift card to pimp out your desk and make it home. We've also seen more of like a gift basket approach where they're going to give them some company swag. They get a shirt, they get a hat, they get a toy. They may get a small gift card for Starbucks, whatever it might be. So it gives them a very welcome environment to come work from on that first day or within that first week. We've also seen other links that people go through to make sure on the first day everybody takes them out to lunch or their team takes them to lunch. And if you've already found out what their interests are and what their favorite food is, well, you can take them to lunch at a place that they will like. And that will just inherently happen. And they'll be like, hey, this is my favorite food. I love Mexican. Thanks for taking me to showing me the best Mexican joint next to the office so that I know for future lunch dates. So it's all about the welcoming process, that welcome basket. And one of the companies I was in is a very enjoyable culture, and I was given some toys. I was given disc shooters, a giant bouncy ball, some other things that were just kind of knickknacks that lent itself to the atmosphere of the organization. It lightened the mood on the first day and made me realize like, hey, this doesn't have to be so serious. I'm not just handing you the stack of HR paperwork and the video you have to watch and you're sitting in a class all day, but you're getting this, these toys that are a little more fun. So it just lightens the mood. And then, as I mentioned before, you may want to send them a schedule around that first week. So even if you don't do it before their first day, on their first day, giving them an outline of what that first week's going to look like. Now, this is an opportunity for you to also dig into that first week and say, is this first week rigorous? Is it supposed to be rigorous? Maybe it's this intensive onboarding experience, or maybe it's supposed to just, maybe it's rigorous in the fact that, there's a lot of training and there's a lot of paperwork that has to be signed. And maybe you want to put intentional items on that calendar, on that itinerary and schedule that lighten up the mood, that make sure that you're taking this person to lunch, that make sure that those interactions are scheduled with other team members. So providing that schedule is not only helpful for them, but it's helpful for you to review that process and say, what do we want people to feel during that first week of hiring? So as a takeaway, I would like you to think about what I shared today and how you can make your new hires feel welcome during your onboarding experience.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Epic Company Culture Podcast with Josh Sweeney. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher. For additional content and transcripts, visit epicculture.co. If you have questions or topics you would like us to address or expand on, tweet us at epicculture1 or email at podcast@epicculture.co.